this might even pave open a way for Bale to stay. Now Zidane might be thinking, boy, I keep Bale because I just lost someone important to me who's out for the season. And this might be Bale's way of staying in that Real Madrid squad. We never know. We have to wait and see. But I've got a funny feeling that Bale may stay. The Real Madrid waters. Literally spoke. They actually, as I said, they've spent the most of their transfer kitty. Like, they said that they had about 300 million to spend. They spent near enough that. Like I said, they bought Hazard. They bought my guy up top. And yeah, we spoke about it last time. There's no need to go over again. I spent a lot of money. And the biggest rumours, or not even the rumours, the biggest talk for them is about Bale, and there's been some controversy, and I don't know what's going on. And I think Zidane, I have respect for Zidane for what he did for them in his first stint, winning the Champions League, not just back to back, but back to back 3 times in a row. In that time, they won 1 league title in those 3 years, and obviously winning all the not all, but winning the European Cups, like the Club World Cup, the European Super Cup, obviously 3 Champions Leagues, 1 La Liga title. So I have respect for the man, because then after he left, they were absolutely terrible, got trounced. But I kind of feel like that was on the cards anyway, and I think he kind of left because he knew it, because he wasn't kind of getting the backing from the board to sign players that he wanted, because he could see that squad was aging, that they weren't what they were, and they needed revamping. So he saw that. Board didn't believe him, so he just left. But he's back now, and I think that because of his achievements last time, it's kind of got into his head. He thinks that he is the man, and I think if he keeps this mentality, you're hearing it first. You're hearing it here first. It's gonna be his downfall. It's gonna be a failure. Like, if he goes in thinking he's the man, I can do what I want. You think player power exists over here? Like, we've seen it before when Jose Mourinho was there, coming towards the end, and there was, players coming out that saying that they didn't want him there, and their performances were dipping towards the end of his spell, and XYZ, and like, Real Madrid is not a club you mess with. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a club legend. It doesn't matter if you won the Champions League 3 times in a row and you're coming back for a second spell. It doesn't matter who you are. You don't mess with the Real Madrid hierarchy. You do not mess with Real Madrid. You don't mess with the Real Madrid players. You don't mess with the Real Madrid stars. You don't mess with the Real Madrid board, the owners, nothing. Real Madrid is a club you don't play around with. And he's coming with this mentality that I am the man, I run things, wherever I say goes. And I think he's been a bit harsh on Gareth Bale. Like, Bale's done a lot for Real Madrid. He's been a quality player. He still is a quality player. And I personally think that he can find room for Bale. He can make a place for Bale. He can make a squad around Bale. He can find a system for Bale, whatever it may be. I don't think there's any reason to get rid of Bale. Yes, I know he has his injury problems, but there's a lot of players that do. Like, for instance, Aguero at Man City has his injury problems. Pep's made it work. He's worked around it. As a matter of fact, Pep probably made Aguero had one of his best seasons and least amount of injuries he's ever had. Like, you work around it. You squad rotation and give them their due rest them where needed and appropriate. You monitor the player. Bubble wrap them if you have to. But great managers find a way around it, especially with players that are as good and as got as much quality as Bale. Because realistically, there's not many better wingers out there, or wide players, or player in these positions better than Bale. On his day, like, he's one of the best in the world. So there isn't really any reason to get rid of him. But Zidane's casted him out. He's come in here. He's told him that he doesn't want him. The way he's gone about it is a bit disgusting. He's come out and he said that Bale's refused to play for Real Madrid in the pre-season friendly, which I think is total lies. As even more so the fact that he came And then he played in the game against Arsenal, and he even scored. He scored against Arsenal in a 2-2 draw, which I think they won on penalties. Yeah, they won on penalties. So he's come off the bench and he scored, and then prior to that, you accused the man of refusing to play for Real Madrid. But it's all tactics of trying to get him out of the club, and I just think that it's poor from them. You're treating a player that's been loyal to the club. He always idolized Real Madrid. He always wanted to go there. He's looked up to Real Madrid. He's always wanted to play for them. He's always giving his all for Real Madrid. Whether sometimes he's been good, sometimes he's been poor. It happens to all the players. Sometimes you go through a rough patch. It happens. Players dip in form, but whether he's been good or bad, he's stuck with Real Madrid. And he's had his stick from managers. He's had his stick from fans, and I kind of feel for Bale. I actually do feel for Bale. And the man said at the start of the summer transfer window that he's willing to fight for his spot. He has no problems with fighting for his spot. Zidane doesn't want me here. Cool. Even if I play once every 10 games, oh, he didn't say that, but if that's what it means to fight for your place, if I play once every 10 games, I'm willing to give my all in that one game to show that I still got what it takes. I can fight for my place in training. I'll do what I need to do to show the manager I'm still about. But Zidane's not even giving him that chance. He's just saying, get out, and I think that's really poor. But where does he head to? No one can afford him. No one can afford his wages. He is not willing to take a wage cut. If he's on 600,000 per week, no one can afford that. Unless Man United got rid of Sanchez, who's on cut. If he's on 600,000 per week, no one can afford that. Unless Man United got rid of Sanchez, who's on like 425 a week or whatever it is, ridiculous. Unless they got rid of Sanchez, maybe they could take on Bale for 600k a week. It's only extra like 200k a week for then Sanchez. But nah, maybe they could take him on loan and pay like 70% of his wages. I don't know, but he can't really go anywhere. No one can afford those wages. Like, it's a lot of wages, and apparently, so like, Zidane's a funny guy. Like, he said he doesn't want him in the club. He wants him gone. He wants to get rid of him. But then he said it's not in his hands. Whether he stays or he goes, it's not in his hands. But then he says he won't be going on loan. If he goes, it's a selling. Like, he said, Bale won't go on loan. Like, we're not loaning him out, because he goes on loan, he's coming back. And he doesn't want him to come back, apparently. Not apparently, but I guess he doesn't want him to come back. So whoever buys him, doesn't get him on loan, has to pay for him, and then pay for them astronomical wages. Like, it's unaffordable. He's unaffordable at the moment. So where does he go from here? The talk is he goes to the Chinese Super League. Now that's a massive backward step for Bale. Not in his pocket. It's a massive step upwards on his pocket. But for his footballing career, it's a step backwards. He's competing at a very low level. He won't be in Champions Leagues. None of that stuff. We won't see much of him. No one not even watch the Chinese Super League. We won't even see him on our TVs no more. And quite frankly, it's quite sad. A player of his caliber, of his quality, shouldn't be playing in the Chinese Super League, period. But what can you do if you are being forced out this badly by your club, by your manager? If you're being forced out this badly, no one else is willing to take you on. No one else. And if you genuinely want to play football, it's your only career choice. I mean, even I'd take it. And especially if they're offering what they're offering. Now, I heard that they're trying to make him the highest paid football player of all time. Trying to offer him £1 million a week. His wages would be... So a man said he'll make £1 million every 7 days. Bruh. There's 52 weeks in a year. That's £52 million a year. Say he gets a 3-year contract. My friend, that's £156 million contract. That's not even including goal bonuses and appearance fees and signing on bonus and all of that. That's just the standard wages that he gets. Those are the standard wages. My man is laughing to the bank, literally laughing. I'd do it too, especially if it's my only option. If it's my only option. He's been on 600k for a while now. He's obviously got good money. If a club came in and said 450, 500k, but you're still in Champions League, still playing for a top club, I'd take that over the Chinese Super League. But that offer isn't even on the table. He's literally got nothing. So, kind of feel for Bale. What can you do, innit? What can you do? Poor guy. I actually feel for him. We should bring him to Barcelona on a loan. What else is happening over at Real Madrid? Like I said, not much. They've just loaned out, what's his name? Danny. No, this strange name. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. But Ramon says it. Danny Dabelos. I don't know. Some central midfielder from Real Madrid. They loaned out to Arsenal. And funny enough, it was a bit touch and go right up until the end, because in the game against Arsenal injured my guy, what's his name? Bloody hell, what's his name, man? The Real Madrid guy. The attacking midfielder, not Isco, the other guy. Basically, he injured his ACL. Guy got snapped up, and he's out for the season. And Real Madrid could have literally pulled the plug on the loan deal and said, you know what, we're gonna need this guy because we've just lost someone for the season. Literally, he's out for the season. That's him done. He ain't gonna play a game this year. I'm trying to remember his name, man. It's just gone completely out of my head. I got his face in my head, everything. Man. So sorry. But I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about, because it's quite common news. And he's out for the season. So, with what little Real Madrid's got left in the kitty, are they going to sign someone to replace him? They probably will. They're going to have to. But then again, I say that, but this might even pave open a way for Bale to stay. Now Zidane might be thinking, boy, I keep Bale because I just lost someone important to me who's out for the season. And this might be Bale's way of staying in that Real Madrid squad. We never know. We have to wait and see. But I've got a funny feeling that Bale may stay. As much as Zidane wants him out and everyone's like, yeah, he's definitely gone. It's just a matter of time. I've got a funny feeling that Bale may